Welcome to Terror in Tandem, a podcast about finding entertainment in the macabre, hosted by the knowledgeable and lovable Laura and Richard Mathiasen. Each episode, we discuss the horror genre, from books to film to TV and beyond, sometimes even from the beyond. You can find us online at terrorintandem.com and on Instagram at terrorintandem.
Hey.
Hey.
I'm calling that your spooky, sexy voice.
Oh. Ooh.
Yeah.
I think it's my trying not to lisp voice, which is my regular voice, because I try not to lisp all the time.
I didn't mean to snort when you said that.
Oh, because I have a speech impediment?
Yeah, I didn't mean to make... Well, no, I mean, you've overcome it. You speak lovely. Lovely.
Lovely.
I, on the other hand, have not overcome my difficulties with the English language.
Like not saying inappropriate things?
In inappropriate situations.
All situations.
It's only a problem if you think it is.
I don't think it is.
Yeah.
What are those buttons you're pressing?
I don't know. Honestly, sometimes I just smack on the buttons. Like
a monkey?
To the listener, it's like the console at a nuclear power plant, and I just... Yeah, like a monkey. I just slap at them, and sometimes I get frustrated, and I start hitting them. And then I discovered how to make tools out of bones, and I start beating on them. And
have you seen those dog pads? The dog button pads, where dogs can press buttons and be like upstairs, or like food. Yeah, or like cookies.
Seriously?
Yeah.
You can talk
bathroom.
to your dog?
Yeah, and they can talk back.
Can you program it with more advanced things? Like... I think you deserve better. You're doing
Dump him.
You're doing great job at work. You don't need affirmation all the time, but here's some anyway.
You're being withholding again. Shame on you.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I feel like that was a Simpsons episode.
Maybe.
I feel like everything was.
What was their Santa's Little Helper? What's their name?
Santa's Little Helper. Yeah.
Cute. Was it a three-legged dog?
No.
It's just a regular.
It was a greyhound they rescued from the track in the pilot episode, in the first ever episode.
Interesting. Wow, that must have really imprinted on you because you've always wanted to rescue a greyhound.
I have, and it did. I watched it with my brother in 1989. I used to watch it.
Just 1 year?
No, I mean I watched the premiere. I remember I wrote a very distinct memory of he and I watching the premiere together. But we used to watch the shorts on the Tracy Ullman show. It was the only part of the show my parents would let us watch because the rest was for grown-ups.
I mean, The Simpsons is sort of, too.
Yeah. But we got away with it because it was animated.
Did your parents watch The Simpsons with you?
Not really. No. Which is probably why we were still allowed to watch it when we were so young. And they were so strict. How old were you?
Well, you don't have to reveal.
Yeah, do I need to age myself? I mean, I was alive in 1989. That's like pretty old.
You were prepubescent?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm Italian mostly, so...
You were born with a mustache?
A little bit.
That's amazing.
I was already had a job at like a steel factory, at a foundry when I was born. They just slapped a hard hat on me and gave me an organ to grind. I'm doing all the stereotypes.
That's more monkey talk.
Right. My dad did...
Are you the monkey or are you the organ grinder? I mean, it's like, which came first, the chicken or the egg? Aren't we all grinding the monkey?
Some days you're the dancing monkey and some days you're the down on his luck old Italian man grinding the organ.
Speaking of monkeys, watch out for that monkeypox.
Right?
That's scary. And the snails. Have you seen the snails?
I'm sorry, what?
The big, huge snails.
No, so monkeypox I've seen, which... has the scariest name for a disease I can imagine.
Well, it also looks scary.
And just anything since Outbreak involving monkeys, and also 28 Days Later, and Planet of the Apes. It just, look, no offense to our ancestral progenitors, but whenever they show up in a movie, it feels like something bad's going to happen.
They're never happy.
Well, the monkey from Project X was pretty nice. The smart monkey.
I don't think anyone's seen that.
With Matthew Broderick? I love that movie.
Oh, yeah, way back.
Yeah.
Oh,
He
okay.
like rescues the
Was
monkey.
that a chimpanzee?
It was. I'm just using that term kind of interchangeably to describe several species of primates.
But the snails, they're huge snails that are causing meningitis in Florida.
Oh, in Florida. Okay.
Well,
yeah.
that's where monkeypox is found too,
It's
right now.
where, I mean, it's a swamp filled with dinosaurs and meth.
Yeah,
so.
it's going to have some crazy inhabitants.
Yeah. Florida.
Both
what happens
in
if
and
the primordial
offshore.
soup that made us all was 90% methamphetamine?
Well, if anything
Florida.
is saying something about global warming, it's in gigantic dinosaur-sized snails causing meningitis.
Well, yeah, there is that.
It's like closing
very real
shorelines.
fear amongst the scientific community and anyone who's alive with a brain and a conscience that the melting permafrost in the Arctic is going to release microbia that human beings have possibly never encountered that predate us.
Yeah.
So we not only don't have antibodies to it, our bodies have no experience with it at all. So looking forward to COVID-25 coming from the Arctic.
Just to our listener out there, we are not going to be talking about movies and books and TV anymore. We're just going to talk about ocean horror.
Yeah, I mean, this is really, I'm in a good mood, but this is turning into like just shit I'm afraid of.
I feel like the CDC is now going to give us a cease and desist.
I think this is just honestly a reaction to being alive in 2022. It's just to constantly be in a state of heightened awareness and anxiety.
So let's stick our hands into the collective sand and go see some horror movies.
Our heads? You said hands.
I did.
I mean, it feels good when you do that. You know what, everybody?
We're going to talk about August
and level with the fact that things are pretty rough right now.
No, we got to cut all this.
No. I'm being, see where I'm going with it. Things are rough. It's no way around that. There's no reason to avoid it. So why not accept that some things are pretty dark and bigger than you are and go watch some movies and give yourself a break.
As we claim, this podcast will find light in the dark.
Yeah, honestly, you all deserve it. You all deserve to take a couple hours out of your frantic week and watch one of these horrifying things we're about to recommend.
Or a couple months.
Yeah.
Catch up on old episodes.
Or sleep.
Okay, so
August recommendations.
Yeah,
it's my favorite. I love doing these. I get really excited about them, and then when we watch the stuff that we recommend, and sometimes it doesn't work out, and you're like, oh well, all right, sorry.
I think it's fine. I think everybody has likes and dislikes, and I think that
we haven't seen any of this stuff before we recommend it. So
well, it's coming out in August.
Exactly.
It is not
and
yet August.
We don't get like watermark screeners.
Not yet.
Yeah, feel free.
That's our dream. I mean, one of many dreams.
Just take off the watermark. That's distracting.
Dream, more dreams. Dreaming.
Owning a home.
Oh. Another home.
Retiring.
Ordering another property.
In addition to our many existing luxury
I mean,
properties.
we have many
What I
apartments.
meant to say was owning a home that is under the sea.
Yes, that is covered in dinosaur snails.
In like a dome.
Okay, so August, just a little bit of background. Yeah, because I always like to give a little background about the month.
I've been waiting all month for this.
August is the 8th month at the beginning of the 1 month being January. So if you count from January to August, it comes up as the 8th month.
One might even call it the Monday of months.
Yes. No. The summers. You mean the Sunday of summers?
Is that what it is?
August is the Sunday of summers.
Yeah, that's it. That's the expression.
Yeah.
This, you know what? Cut
that. No, we're gonna leave your.
My dummies?
Well, you've been monkey talking all day, so
it's true.
Just press the buttons that I laid out for you when it's your turn to speak. I agree. You're beautiful. You don't have to cook.
My dog pad?
Let me carry that. Yeah, exactly. Your dog pad, except we're calling it a monkey pad.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, I guess I'll start. I mean, obviously, talking about August was a joke because I always am like, what do we think about August? It's
hot. It's got some birthdays in it.
I'll reserve comment about what I feel about summer.
You don't like it.
I said I didn't want anyone to know that.
No, you didn't. You said you would reserve comment.
Anyone that knows me knows that I do not like humidity. It's really humidity.
Yeah.
I don't like to sweat unless the intention is to sweat. You know what I mean? Like
Sure.
if I'm working out.
You doing some Bikram?
Yeah, or in cleaning or something. I know I'm going to. I'm sorry. Just a little cackle for the old Bikram.
Yeah,
you
who
know.
Who doesn't want to sit in a room full of strangers and turn it up to 120 degrees? See what happens.
It sounds nice.
Oh, God.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't.
So, as I mentioned, I don't like humidity, but I do like horror movies, TV shows, and books. So, I'm going to go first, I guess.
Do it.
So, my first recommendation for August is a film called Resurrection.
Ah, yes. Yes, I wanted to do this one.
It's coming out August 5th, limited release. So I'm not sure what that means for our listener, but I'm sure it'll be in a major metropolis or art house movie. Hopefully it'll expand release.
Or a dinosaur-filled swamp in Florida.
Right.
With slugs.
Sorry,
Florida.
It's starring Rebecca Hall. She was in Night House, The Town.
Yeah, she rules.
And The Gift,
Iron
which
Man
is another
3.
horror movie I thought was pretty good. Oh, okay.
Yeah, she was.
It also stars Tim Roth from Reservoir Dogs, Hateful Eight, and Lie to Me, that TV show.
Yeah, hell yeah.
It's directed by Andrew Siemens, who I don't know much about. I think he might be fairly new to directing. It was filmed in Albany, New York.
Hey.
Which, listener, this is where the Tandem team formed their bond.
It is. It's the cursed city in which we met and formed our diabolical pact.
Yeah, exactly. That's the crossroad of where we made the deal with that demon.
Yeah.
So they filmed it near the Corning Preserve on the Hudson River. So any listeners in Albany, I would look at this movie just for the
They probably
scenes.
were all talking about it while it was filming. I remember anytime anything was filming in the area, it's like everyone talked about, something's filming. They're filming something.
But they're very shady about what they're filming. Usually they don't tell you what they're filming.
That's studios. They always film things under a different name.
So the story, there's not a lot of information about the story.
That's fine by me.
Yeah, I know. We'll get into that after I finish my recommendation.
In our grievances section.
Right. Rebecca Hall plays a character named Margaret, and she is super type A. She's very controlled and disciplined and has a routine. Everything's in its place. And then David, played by Tim Roth, returns into her life and brings with him the horrors of her past. So it's unclear whether he's an ex or a father figure, brother, any relation, something like that. But obviously she has a undisciplined and chaotic past because of the contrast I'm sure they're trying to establish. It premiered at Sundance in January, and I guess it went really, really well. You know, horror movies at festivals like Sundance and other type non-horror festivals are far and few between.
Yeah, I mean, it's
few and far between.
Recently, I think it's become a little bit more friendly.
Because horror is becoming more of a legitimate movie vehicle.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
or storytelling vehicle.
Rebecca Hall is so great.
She definitely has been cropping up as like the horror darling.
She in a particular kind of film.
Yeah.
It's been nice to see her career move from her earlier roles in very good movies like The Town and whatnot, but her roles were more, I don't know, kind of typical roles given to women, like supportive, not really driving the action. And now she's got these leading roles in these meaty films that are, interesting and twisty and thrilling. It's nice when somebody talented like that, you see their career develop, and I feel like she's finally getting parts that fit how good she is.
So it's, as I mentioned, it's limited release. It's going to be up against some big box office films. So if you really want to embrace this type of movie, it'll be out August 5th. Check it out.
Oh yeah. Hey, listen, I'm the biggest MCU fan out there, but every once in a while I need a break from watching muscly men in their underpants beat the shit out of each other, with sparkles. Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Oh. My first one is something I'm really, really excited about. It is Prey, coming out on August 3rd on Hulu. So you can watch that from the comfort of your own home.
From your own Cthulhu.
Your own safe space.
Do you think they named Hulu after Cthulhu?
Cthulhu? No, but now I really want to believe that's true. That
Then make it true.
Like some nefarious scheme that like the CEO is actually a tentacle monster, an old god. Oh God, this is awesome. Yes. Ftagan. So Prey is coming out on August 3rd on Hulu. It's directed by Dan Trachtenberg, who you probably remember from 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Is this like a companion piece to the Predator movies?
Well, it's not a companion piece. It is a Predator movie.
Oh, so now it's Prey.
Yes.
Who's the prey now, Predator?
Now, this is a Predator movie. You had mentioned earlier filming under secret titles. This movie was a secret. It was filmed under the title Skulls, and its existence was leaked, unfortunately, much to the chagrin of the director. And I hate that shit. I really try to avoid it online. I don't like things spoiled for me. And
I mean, I wish it was the Skulls. I wish they would remake that movie, with Pacey Witter.
Oh, the one with
about the
Paul
secret
Walker?
society.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Okay.
I know it's terrible, but
that might be more your kind of thing than mine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Secret societies that murder people.
Maybe it's because Joshua Jackson was in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pacey Witter.
Understood. Well, listen, Fringe is my Joshua Jackson entry.
Yeah, I mean, he's been a lot of good stuff.
Of course he has. I'm just saying I'm more Fringe than Dawson's Creek.
Yeah.
So getting back to Prey. Now, interesting thing about this, it is a Predator movie. And Predator's one of those, God, it's one of those frustrating franchises that started off so well and just got run right into the fucking ground. The first Predator is a classic. I mean, John McTiernan directed it. It, very memorably starred Arnold Schwarzenegger and Carl Weathers. And it's like a action movie that halfway through turns into a horror film. It's awesome.
All you have to do is pull up to a swamp and you got a stew going.
What?
Carl Weathers.
Oh, right. But that's not from
I know.
Oh, yeah, okay.
You can cut all that.
Okay, sorry.
I mean, it's funny, though.
This was really good. Baby, you got a stew going.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just take a bone and a little swamp water, and you got a stew going.
Love Carl Weathers.
Yeah, right.
So the thing about Predator 1, right, there was that character, Billy, the indigenous Native American tracker, who was played by Sonny Landham. So there was the scene right before he died in the movie, spoiler for a 40-year-old movie. The rest of the team, the surviving members of the team are escaping from the Predator. They're trying to get away. And Sonny, the tracker, stops and he pulls out this fucking awesome looking knife. And he's like, everybody go. I've got to do this, basically. And he like squares off to fight the Predator with a knife. Now, we've seen the Predator's weaponry at this point. Jesse Ventura with a handheld minigun couldn't take it down. So he's going to fight it with a knife. And what you're promised in that moment is like the coolest thing you've ever seen in your life. And what you get is Arnold Schwarzenegger stopping, running through the jungle when he hears a scream from far away. So like it happens off screen and it happens literally 1 second later, which makes it feel like the fight didn't even really happen. And so this movie, the reason I bring that up is because this movie takes place in 1719. Yeah. And it follows a woman from the Comanche Nation named Naru.
She looks cool as shit.
She looks fucking amazing. That's played by Amber Midthunder, who you might remember from the show Legion, which, by the way, check out Legion. Yeah. It is so good.
Did we ever finish that?
We did not. Well, I got further into it than you did, and I'm sort of waiting.
What? Oh, there's so many. Okay, this is a whole. Sorry, sidetrack moment here.
Remember, I watched a bunch and then I came back.
Hold on a minute. I have been waiting to watch Barry we didn't even finish season 2. I waited so long that season 3 came out. We started watching it for a second. We're like, we never finished season 2. I could have finished Barry and rewatched it with you. That is just one of the many shows that I'm waiting on you for. Okay, back to the program. Do 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 do. Okay.
So Naru is a woman who desperately wants to be recognized as a warrior of her tribe. She's skilled, she's brave, but the sort of patriarchal structure of the tribe doesn't allow for that. Suddenly, a predator appears and starts fucking stuff up in the way that a predator does, and it basically, from the trailer, it looks like it becomes Amber Midthunder becomes the tribe's last best hope to defeating this thing.
Does she become the predator?
Well, what is predator and who's the predator, who's the prey? Right. Sort of like the ending of the first movie when it's basically down to Arnold versus the predator, and he's covering himself in mud, and it gets like really close quarters and primal. That's what this whole movie kind of looks like. Really, and Dan Trachtenberg has said he's really playing into the horror aspect of this superior killing machine, stalking you through the forest. There's a scene where it looks like it's taking out a bunch of colonists, which... Man, that was cathartic. So the reason I brought up that scene from the first Predator movie is you never got to see that promise of that awesome one-on-one fight between this buff, Native American tracker and the Predator, and that's what this movie really looks like. It looks like that. Plus, it's featuring, an indigenous cast, what looks to be a very honest representation of the culture, and... Again, Amber Midthunder just looks so cool. I can't wait to see her, use her wits and her skills to hopefully defeat the Yautja, which is the species name of
I'm
Predator.
even looking forward to it, and I don't really like the Predator movies.
This movie, it kind of harkened back a little bit to the second Predator, which was directed by Stephen Hopkins. I always thought that one was really underrated. That played a lot into the horror elements of the Predator. And the franchise has really gone off the rails. There have been some entries that are okay, but they never hit the heights of the first movie. This is the first one, I agree, since then that has me just very excited. And also, if they can pull this off, I think it will really prove that Disney buying out 20th Century Fox was a good thing, that they have the potential to revitalize these franchises that started so well and over the years were just beaten to death by corporate greed and lack of creativity. So anyway,
it sort of
Prey
has the Apocalypto vibe to it.
A little bit with the benefit of not being directed by Mel Gibson.
Yeah,
wonderful talents as a director
means I can watch
and an actor, but
and not feel guilty.
Yeah, other things going on. But Prey, August 3rd. I can't wait.
So my next recommendation is also coming out August 5th on Peacock. Just like your Hulu TV, Peacock TV is offering a horror movie.
And leaving the house for me, it's so difficult because I've got to put on SPF 9000 and cover up from the sun or else I burst into flames. So watching from home.
It's because you're a demon. That's why you burst into flames.
Watching from home just really takes out all that work.
They, them is what it's called. It's called They, Them.
Yes,
they slash them.
Yeah. Interesting.
And it's a horror movie. They slash them.
Interesting.
Anyway, I'm reading way too much into semantics because Hulu and they slash them. Anyway, this is coming out August 5th.
I say we spend the next 45 minutes exploring this. Do it. Let's do it.
It's written and directed by John Logan. He wrote Skyfall and Rango, and it's his first time directing, actually.
Interesting. Both good movies.
Right.
Yeah.
It's starring Kevin Bacon, Carrie Preston from True Blood and The Good Wife, who I really like. I adore her, actually. And Anna Klumsky from Veep and My Girl.
Of My Girl.
Yeah.
Those of a certain age, of course.
Of course. No, Anna Klumsky.
Of course.
It's a Blumhouse production.
Happy to see her back, by the way. She was, absent for a long time, and she's really been in a lot of great stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, Veep was the shit.
Yeah.
What a great show.
She was just in that Anna movie.
Right, about the the fake socialite.
Yeah, I just felt her talent wasn't well utilized in that.
Well, it's just good to see her popping up and stuff.
Well, she's popping up in this. And like I said, it's Blumhouse, which is always a good sign to me.
Yeah.
Just a bit of a synopsis. It's a psychological horror / thriller set around a group of LGBTQIA plus teenagers. They've been sent to a conversion camp called Whistler Camp. That's a horror right there.
Yeah. Say no more, but please say more.
It's a facility for teens who are, quote unquote, struggling with their desires, and their parents consider it taboo. So they send them there for the summer. They send their kids away to get converted.
Met those parents.
To not be a they, them, to be a he or a she like they were born with. I mean, that's like the whole, it's so atrocious.
As invisible Sky
Doing
Daddy
that
intended.
to another person whom you love is
quote unquote love.
Not great, people.
Please tell me.
Listen, if you don't agree with what I'm saying, then I don't think you should listen to our podcast.
Yeah, you can fuck right off. Please tell me that Kevin Bacon is the evil head of this camp, please.
He absolutely is. Yes. His name is Owen Whistler.
That's going to be so rad.
Yeah. It's pretty vague about the specifics of what's going to happen, but Kevin Bacon is the head of the camp, and they brainwash teens by calling it therapy. The mantra is respect, renew, rejoice.
Ew.
And it looks like there's going to be a masked killer. And
masks.
We just did a mask episode.
We sure did.
Interested to see what this mask looks like. So,
maybe it'll be in Masks Part 2.
The concept is grounded in reality. Sadly,
unfortunately,
a horrific reality. And really good cast. I'm really excited to see this movie. You know, there's a bunch of teenagers in it. I always love those teen horror movies, any movies.
Sure. I mean, it's you have every emotion possible going on at the exact same time turned to 11. It's like ripe for storytelling.
Yeah. So it's perfect end of summer movie too. Summer camp, horror at the summer camp. When's the last horror at a summer camp movie that we've seen?
And I desperately want to see Kevin Bacon chewing the scenery in this role. I'm sure he's going to nail it.
I hope he meets a good end too.
Yeah. Like that has the potential to offer some nice catharsis.
Yeah. It has the vibe of the horror movie video game. Horror video game I recommended from June, The Quarry.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So
cool.
I feel like this is going to be exciting.
Yeah.
So,
it feels like a summer read of a movie.
Yeah.
Like fun, breezy, but like, not vacuous. Like it's got
not breezy because the content is
not that's not the right word. More like
campy,
fast paced. Oh yeah, very good, very good.
Oh, I'm filled with punch.
That's puntastic.
Thank
you.
Do
you want to take a break?
Sure,
let's do it. Now, we all like to dance naked in the moonlight while wearing the cured skin of our victims. But who has the time for the tanning, the seaming, and the cleanup? Not to mention the smell. Friends, allow me to introduce you to Buffalo Bill's Skin Suit Warehouse, the go-to outfitter for the modern serial killer. Revisit the scene of your grisly crimes in a second skin so comfortable you'll swear it was your own. At Buffalo Bill's, every human suit is organically harvested from artisanal kidnap victims, kept starving in a well for several weeks until their skin gets nice and loose. Choose from an assortment of ages, complexions, and skin tone. For the budget conscious, check out our clearance rack of irregular or damaged skin suits, or our amazing Technicolor Dream Coat made from whatever was left in the slop buckets. Miss doing your own harvesting? Well, just send your materials to Buffalo Bill's and we'll tailor any former human shell to your design. Get all the catharsis murder brings your abnormal brain, and enjoy a hand-sewn suit without the hassle. Every people suit comes with its own basket of lotion, which should be rubbed on the skin whenever it's told, or else it gets the hose again. Buffalo Bill's Skin Suit Warehouse. Put the fucking lotion in the basket. This is a fake ad for a fake product on a horror-themed podcast. We do not condone nor endorse murdering people and using their skin to make clothing. And welcome back.
Hi.
We're doing August recommendations for those of you just joining us in this live broadcast.
And your favorite weirdos up next.
Oh, favorite? That's nice.
I mean, you knew it was you right away.
I was hoping that it wasn't our third host who... Did you want to get on my... No, they are still... Wow, so shy. All right, so my next
Not
one...
too shy to lick your butthole in eye view.
Again, whenever you... I just want to specify, it is a cat. It is a cat. This is not like a person licking their butts out. So my second recommendation for August is Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. I'm just going to level with you. Mine are all movies this month. So Bodies, Bodies, Bodies is a movie by A24 coming out August 5th. It's directed by Helena Ryan, who is a Dutch actor turned director. This is her second feature. And it's starring Amanda Stenberg, who is a young actor. She's going to be in the upcoming Star Wars show, The Acolyte. So Amanda Stenberg plays Sophie, who's fresh out of rehab, and she's been away from her friends for quite some time. She invites them all to a mansion to reconnect. And, you know, there's a lot of awkwardness, I think, from being separate for a while, and also the fact that she's now sober and her friends are all party animals. So they are in this mansion, drinking, doing drugs, and they play the game Bodies, 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 which is sort of like a murder mystery hitman type party game.
It's a very Gen Z, again, teenagers or like young adults.
Yeah, they're young adults. It's so the premise is they play this game, someone ends up dead, murdered, and now they're stuck in a house, Clue style, with one of them being the murderer. But the conceit of the movie is that it's a horror comedy, and it's very much a tongue-in-cheek take on Gen Z and all the tropes that go with it. So I'm going to be honest, I don't know how this is going to go. A couple of things in its favor. The cast is fantastic. Amanda Stenberg is up and coming. She's a real talent, and she's being cast in a lot of big projects. So I'm interested to see her lead a feature.
Yeah.
We've got Lee Pace playing like an older, kind of burnout, like he's got like party wisdom dude.
It's sort
vibe.
of gonna be like watching you on screen, because
this
Lee Pace, the actor Lee Pace in IRL,
is so cool.
Is what your other host that's not speaking wants to embody in his like physical presence.
Are you serious? First off, thank you. He is a very tall, very beautiful man.
Well, you'll never be tall like him.
Yeah.
But all the other things are.
What about
You're
my
a beautiful
lips?
man.
Thank you. So
You could get calf surgery.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh, God, that sounds awful.
Yeah.
No, just be short, everybody. There's nothing wrong with
take
that.
cadaver bones.
I'm happy being a little stumpy Sicilian. So it's got Lee Pace, like I said. It's got Pete Davidson playing.
Lee Pace was in
Pushing Daisies.
yes.
He was in the Hobbit movies.
So good.
He's awesome.
Halt and Catch Fire.
He was in what was that Tarsem Singh movie? Not The Cell. The Fall. He was in The Fall. Fantastic movie. The Fall by Tarsem Singh. It's really good.
Okay.
So anyway,
move on. Did you say Pete Davidson?
It's got Pete Davidson playing what looks essentially to be Pete Davidson.
Which is fine.
Yeah, I like Pete Davidson. It's also got Maria Bakalova, which you might remember from Borat 2. She's the actor.
My wife.
Yeah.
I know that's Borat 1.
She was Borat 2.
Yep.
She was the actor who got America's Mayor Rudy Giuliani to stick his hand down his pants in a hotel room when he thought she was a teenaged Russian journalist.
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. You know, it pays to take a look around the room and look at who you're associating with. Just going to say it. So anyway, it looks like it definitely violent, funny. The one thing that's holding me back a little bit is anytime something plays as a satire, especially of a current generation, a younger generation, I don't know. It could be hit or miss. Hopefully they nail it. I hope it's not just like a cringy, trope after trope after trope. The trailer did have a lot of like Gen Z tropes.
I feel like though
buzzwords in it. So
remember when we were apprehensive about Happy Death Day for years?
Oh yeah, and that movie ruled.
Yeah,
yeah.
We
now
loved it so
honestly,
much.
Anything that Christopher Landon does has an automatic watch for me.
So we can give it a try.
I'm definitely going to. It's again, it's
it
A24.
might not be a theater watch. It might be a rental.
So I'm just saying it's a tricky. It
might be a
satire of any
blockbuster.
kind is very tricky, but especially in 2022, I feel like satire is especially difficult to pull off because reality has become so surreal and ridiculous. But here's hoping. Bodies, Bodies, Bodies coming out in theaters August 5th.
All right, back to me. My next recommendation is a TV show series called House of the Dragon.
Oh, yeah. Right. That small independent production.
It's coming out August 21st on Home Box Office, HBO. So in like a little bit, only a few weeks from now.
Cool.
It's a prequel-esque sort of.
No, it's a prequel. It totally is, right?
Yeah. Set 200 years in the Game of Thrones universe.
Westeros.
Yes. It's about the House Targaryen specifically. And the plot, again, it's just a very small summary. It's civil war known as the Dance of Dragons between different branches of the Targaryens, all for the Iron Throne. So again, the Iron Throne is going to be the prize here. It's already starting off very differently than the Game of Thrones series because that was sort of a let's build it as we go set and costuming and all that vibe.
They've already built the universe.
Yes, they just basically plug and play here.
Yeah.
And again, just this world building is already like start to finish. It's done. And
it's another one of those everyone is in it shows.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's created by Ryan Condal and George R.R. Martin, of course. Mm-hmm. Starring Paddy Considine, because I know you love him. He's going to be King Viserys Targaryen.
Yeah.
And Matt Smith from The Crown.
The Doctor himself.
The Doctor. And he's going to play Prince Daemon Targaryen.
Awesome.
I'm sure, although they didn't show it in the trailer, I'm sure there'll be lots of sex.
And a particular kind of sex.
Yes. Lots of oh, yeah, because the Targaryens notably were just like...
the British monarchy?
Well, it's very incestuous.
Yeah.
I would say worse than the British monarchy.
The old British
brother,
monarchy.
sister, direct,
Yikes.
Lots of sex, conquering, power
Speaking
struggles.
of Rudy Giuliani, no, that was his first cousin.
So, anyway, lots of sex,
Woo.
Lots of conquering.
Lots of sex position.
Lots of conquering sex position.
Yeah.
Power struggles, both sexually and non-sexually.
Yeah.
Iron throning, both sexually and non-sexually.
And based on the...
Have you heard of that new sex move called iron throning?
I'm guessing based on the family line and the story and the show, a lot of people having sex maybe come from the same family tree.
Absolutely. I mean, they're all going to be the blonde, pale.
Yeah. Look at my family tree. It has 2 branches on it.
Miguel Sapochnik?
Yeah, Sapochnik. Yeah, he directed some of the best episodes of the original series.
Correct. He Hard Home, Battle of the Bastards, which was The Winds of Winter, The Long Night.
Yeah.
The Bells also. That was the one where, you know, the dragon. So he's going to be directing a bunch of episodes as well. So I'm definitely excited about it.
I mean, I'm obviously in for sure.
Yeah, of
100%.
course. I mean,
it's
pretty much a given.
Based on the book by George R.R. Martin, Blood and Fire. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, can't wait.
Yeah, and that book is finished, so.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah, and
it's not going to be left up to the interpretation of the showrunners
who are not working on this one.
No,
they've moved on. Yeah.
To another franchise.
Yeah, no worries there. My last recommendation.
Oh,
this is the ultimate summer read of a movie. Beast. Beast is coming out August 19th in theaters.
There is a sexy beast in that movie.
Yes. Calm yourself. Or don't. August 19th in theaters, the Universal release. So this is coming from Icelandic director Baltasar Kormákur. I'm so sorry if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. He previously directed Adrift, that movie with Shailene Woodley and Sam Claflin, where they get stuck at sea. So this movie, Beast, starring Idris Elba.
Meow. Or should I say
He's playing a widower and father of a couple of young girls who travels to South Africa, where he first met his wife, his now deceased wife, to sort of reconnect with her, to show his kids, a little bit more about her life. She was a wildlife photographer. So he goes to South Africa, meets up with his friend, played by Charlton Copley, South African actor you might recognize from District 9.
Oh, yeah, that was such a great movie. That's where I did recognize him from.
Yeah, he was in the remake of Old Boy, and lots of other stuff. He was in Elysium. So they go on safari, and they come across an injured man in the street who's yelling about the devil, the devil. And they follow him back to a village that has been torn apart by a lion. And the thing is the people are mauled and killed, but they're not eaten. And animals don't typically do that. So
not in the wild. It's not like they kill for kill's sake.
Exactly.
They kill
so what follows
subsist.
is, we've got man versus nature. This beast is stalking him. This powerhouse of a lion,
a predator and a prey.
Yeah, we've got Idris Elba and his masculine dad energy, trying to keep his daughter safe. We've got.
I hope that shirts get wet and ripped.
It's almost a given that his shirt will get ripped at some point. I would say it's a real missed opportunity if he's not walking around with a shredded shirt. Got Charlton Copley's twitchy, we're all gonna die energy. It's just, man, it's R-rated, so it's gonna bring the blood. It's got kind of reminds me of this film I really liked back in the 90s, and I hope it still holds up. I haven't seen it since then. The Ghost in the Darkness, directed by Predator 2's Stephen Hopkins, twice in one pod. That was with Val Kilmer and Michael Douglas, where there's a lion or two lions, I think, that are hunting people. And same thing, they're not eating anybody, they're just killing. But that's a period piece that takes place in like the 19th century. This is modern day. I'm just really looking forward to it. It got a sort of Cujo vibe. A giant crazed animal stalking them and attacking them. Lions are so powerful. They're so intimidating. I remember, seeing one at the zoo, which is not a great place for a lion to be, honestly, but when it roared, I felt my bones rattle. And you could see the dust in front of it kicked up in a cloud. And it's an animal that just exudes power. Seeing it in captivity, I remember feeling like, oh, you shouldn't be here. This shouldn't be allowed. You're too big for this. So I can't wait to see. It's obviously going to have a scene where Idris Elba fights a lion hand to hand. That seems like that's bound to happen. So can't wait. It's coming out August 19th. What a way to cap off the summer. Right?
Absolutely. Very excited about that.
Definitely.
So my next, I have two more. One is just
what?
I know.
Cheater.
I'm sorry. One is just a mention. So I'll go to my last, which is another movie, you guys.
I like movies.
And this one's I'm not sure about. It's maybe like Your Bodies. Like, I'm not sure. It could be good.
Hope for the best, but if it's not, it's really...
I am excited about it, though.
Yeah, okay.
It's called Barbarian.
Oh, right.
And it comes out right at the end of August 31st. It's starring Bill Skarsgård, Pennywise from It.
One of the 85 Skarsgårds.
And Georgina Campbell. She's been in Black Bear and some other things. And Justin Long, who... from non-horror.
And also Jeepers Creepers.
Right. And then that other one with the...
Drag Me to Hell.
Correct.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah, very good. Both of those were good.
Yeah.
Only one of them directed by a convicted pedophile.
Oh, gross.
Not Drag Me to Hell. Love you,
so this one, though, is not... Sorry, we're not saying this one is. This one is directed by Zach Krager. He's fairly new to directing. He's been a producer and an actor and a writer. So, it's his... newer foray into the directing field. It stars Tess, played by Campbell. She is going to a town overnight for a job interview the next day, and she goes to check into her Airbnb, and the hide key is missing. So she knocks on the door and wakes up somebody, and it's Keith, Bill Skarsgård's character. He's already there. He's like waking up.
Ooh.
He has already rented the place. And so he invites her in to stay, lets her take the bedroom. And then she basically learns that there's something else staying there.
Well, yeah,
to be afraid of.
He's Pennywise.
Yeah, right. I mean, is it him that she should be afraid of? Is it something else? We don't really know.
Interesting.
But there's definitely that element of like stranger danger. She looks at his license in the trailer and like takes a picture of it. So
just
I feel like she already has a gut feeling that things are.
Or these days, I feel like we are walking around with a gut feeling.
Correct. So again, not sure, but still excited. Barbarian.
Could be good. Yeah. I mean, I just read an article the other day and it was honestly the most horrifying thing about it was how blasé it was, and like the nonchalant tone of it. It was how to spot hidden cameras in your Airbnb. And it was written in such like a regular matter of fact, like this is just how life is now way, that I was like, what? No, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, why
does that something you have to be aware of.
So it's not enough to pay you to rent a place. Like now I've got to walk around looking for hidden cameras too. God damn.
Yep.
That is not good.
So I know that, that's
also you're not going to see anything you want to see.
No, you're definitely not.
So,
don't go exploring. Just go to your interview and go home.
It's a real caveat emptor situation.
Right. Or and it's also like the neighborhood. He was like, don't go out. It's a scary neighborhood.
Yeah, it had kind of vibes of 10 Cloverfield Lane a little bit of like, is he telling the truth about the outside?
Right.
Yeah.
So the honorable mention, my last bullet point A is a book called The Book Eaters. And I'm very excited about this actually, based on just the synopsis. It's by Sunia Dean. I've never read her. And according to Goodreads, out on the Yorkshire moors lives a secret line of people for whom books are food and who retain all of a book's content after eating it. To them, spy novels are a peppery snack. Romance novels are sweet and delicious. Eating a map can help them remember destinations. And children, when they misbehave, are forced to eat dry, musty pages from dictionaries.
Could have used that skill in college.
So the character of Devon is part of the family, an old reclusive clan of book eaters. Her brother grows up feasting on stories of valor and adventure, and Devon, like all other book eater women, is raised on a carefully curated diet of fairy tales and cautionary stories. And so I just want to say the synopsis goes on, but I want to stop there. In this
book eating society, it also sounds quite patriarchal.
Yes. So I'm very excited. Well, Devon has a son, and he has a rare and darker kind of hunger, not for books, but for human minds.
Ruh-roh.
So that's the end of the synopsis. I just thought that sounded really interesting, like fantasy, horror fiction.
Also eating brains.
And I just, honestly, I love anything. I love books that are about books or libraries, or collections of books. I've always drawn to that.
Stories that explore the nature of storytelling.
Yes.
That's why I love Neil Gaiman so much. So much of his fiction, I feel, is centered around what is storytelling, where do stories come from, the power that they have. Yeah.
So if you got some vacation time, free time, downtime in August, check out some of our recommendations.
Movies, books, and TV. Got it all covered.
We sure do.
Have a great summer, everybody. Or, end of summer.
Yeah. Have a great end of summer, everybody. Terror in Tandem is written, produced, and recorded by Laura and Richard Mathiasen, and edited and mixed by Richard Mathiasen. Our theme was written and performed by Carrie Denver, and all other music was written and performed by David Suspanic. All opinions expressed on this podcast are our own and should be taken as such. Thanks for listening, and please remember to give us a like, a review, and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. See you next time. We're still